So we are ready to start off. We have Kaylin Welch from FastSensor, and Kaylin is here at our first cart to take us through his solution. So welcome aboard, Kaylin. It's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure. So everybody, I'd love to share a little bit about FastSensor. My name is Kaylin Welch, EVP of Business Development, and what we do is connected consumer journey measurement. Effectively, what we're able to do is give you metrics and retail analytics on your store journey from your customer experience perspective. We start at the front of your store and actually measure how many people walk past your store to understand what the total addressable market looks like within your environment, whether it's a mall or a standalone. From there, we move into, of course, a standard door counter, which many of you may have today. But we're going to build on top of that and around that. We're actually going to be able to track every single customer as they move through your entire store, be able to tell how long they're there for, which area they're within, how they move in between them, ultimately be able to heat map all of that data set and provide much more information for you. All of this with about a 95% passive penetration of this audience without them being aware and being completely globally privacy policy compliant, while also being what we call retail realistic, which means that we can actually get this technology into your stores, safely get it through your legal department, and of course get the data and the metrics into the hands of your employees, both at corporate and at the store level, to help them maximize and optimize what's happening in the location. Okay, I'm going to move over and show you just a couple slides, and I'd love to get questions and interaction. Effectively, what we're saying is we're going to help you connect with customers beyond the checkout counter. Okay, and the way we do that, of course, is to fill in that journey. Most of you, as I talked about earlier, from a retail perspective, are measuring how many people walk in that door and then how many people check out. And you're measuring and monitoring your employees and your overall interaction based on that conversion. What we're going to do is, again, fill in all of the steps in between of that journey. And we're doing this using artificial intelligence and machine learning. And think about e-commerce level metrics and how you manage your website. We're providing that for your in-store physical environment. Okay. So one of the key metrics I think that we do focus on is called, of course, overall visit duration or dwell time. And one of the important metrics and studies out there that says if we can increase your customer journey and or visit duration by about 30 seconds, you can bump your sales by over 12%. Okay, I know that sounds very simple and light, but true. And there's data to back this up and demonstrate it. Not only can we impact that one lever or pull that one lever to impact your sell-through, but we can also, of course, look at your merchandising strategy, your operational efficiencies, and applying the data set so you know when and where and how many employees to be, of course, staffing your locations. And we can tell you where those missed opportunities are that you're used to not being able to see. We're going to illuminate those particular areas for you directly. Moving forward again here, everything is a sales funnel in the world and in business. So this is just how we start to visualize that data set, again, starting from the walk-by traffic, moving into the walk-in. And then I'll dump in a little bit deeper into what we call a qualified visitor. Now, this is the true power and the final harnessing of artificial intelligence, machine learning, to study a large data set of, again, all of your customers coming in your store. Now, the trick to our solution is that we don't set preset sort of criteria. The artificial intelligence does it. So we actually give you the ability to normalize the data set across all your stores. 2 stores and 2 locations that have very different customer journeys will allow you to compare them. And you can benchmark and then, of course, optimize based on what you're finding within that space. We move through to what we call a browser and engager metric, where we actually, again, use artificial intelligence and machine learning to break down and help you understand how the customers are behaving in your store. And most importantly, are they demonstrating a propensity to purchase? And we can, with a high degree of accuracy, predict purchase, much like you could online on your website. Okay. Then from there, we move into the heat mapping, which I mentioned earlier. This is a combination of effectively dwell time and engagement. So how many people for how long and where they are within the physical environment of your store. And we're going to visualize it in a way that you can very quickly and easily apply the data. Again, I mentioned the term retail realistic earlier. It's key to be able to apply the data set. If you have it and you don't use it, it's worthless. So not only do we bring this data to you, but of course, we bring best practices and how to apply it, because it's a data set you've probably never seen before. Okay? Last thing I'll highlight is something we recently rolled out called the Connected Journey. And we actually show you each area within your store where the customer started and how they moved through. So you can not only see where they went and for how long, but effectively what were the conversions that they made within their journey and environment within your environment. Very, very powerful when properly applied. From a hardware perspective, we are a software as a service company. All of our data is pushed to the cloud via the T-Mobile network. So we put sensors within your space, just need to plug them in. They are all self-calibrated using artificial intelligence and machine learning. We also have a door counter opportunity if you're interested in that. If you have one already, keep it. And then from there, we plug the system in, we let the AI learn, and we open up the data set to you. Okay? So that's simple. And all of the data is pushed to the cloud via the T-Mobile network, which means we don't touch your network. Okay? No IT issues, no privacy concerns, no PCI compliance questions. We literally bypass the whole thing, take the data directly from the sensor, push it up to the cloud, into a dashboard, or directly into your business intelligence layer within your corporate team. Okay? A couple of just comments. We were one of the top 10 takeaways from NRF, so some people are talking about us and like what they see. And we have some additional features in the retail store where we can actually trigger content if you have digital signage in there with some of your other partners you're going to see today. And just to hit the key points, and then I'll shut up for a minute and love to hear your questions. All cloud-based, all artificial intelligence and machine learning driven, all self-training, AI-driven ecosystem, so you don't have to send techs in there. Not a lot of maintenance or management, and very, very retail realistic, and most importantly, secure and fast, plug and play, running through the T-Mobile network directly to cloud. And I will pause there. Love your questions. Love anything else. Go ahead, Joe.
Heather? Is this live? Okay, that was terrific, Kaylin. Thank you very much. So for anyone on the virtual bridge that has a question, this is a great time to come off mute and talk to Kaylin directly. And anyone in the room here that has a question, I'll bring the microphone over to you and we can get your questions answered. So. Sure, let me bring it over to you.
Thanks, Joe. So, Kaylin.
Yes.
How does it differentiate customer and an employee inside the retail space? And does it differentiate when my FedEx guy comes into the store or the employee left their receipt or something in the car?
Sure.
Does it count them twice?
Great question. So the first thing I'll say is that our technology can differentiate, and the way we do this we haven't talked about, so I'll give you a very quick overview on the tech for about 20 seconds, and then we'll talk about how the AI differentiates. And the answer is yes, we can differentiate between employees and your customers. So the way our technology works is through effectively scanning and listening passively for the radio frequency emittances from all your personal devices. So your phone, your watch, your Fitbit, your tablet, your laptop, those signals we are tracking around the store. We have zero personally identifiable information, so there's no worry about any global privacy policies. We can operate around the globe. And then using behavioral analytics, and this is the power of harnessing AI in this environment and with this application for the first time ever, we can actually differentiate through behavior who is an employee, who is a customer, who is that FedEx guy that comes in for 12 seconds or 32, and triggers your door counter, which throws off your conversion metrics, and then your managers get upset at you because they say he wasn't a customer or she wasn't a customer, and they start playing games. We've all seen this out there. Our system will automatically filter those people out with a 95% confidence interval and accuracy level, and the data we provide is customer specific. So we're not telling you how many employees you have because you already know. They're on your payroll. We're going to help you figure out when and where to place them and how to apply them. But to answer your question, the system differentiates.
Have you seen other teams in retail, such as real estate, use this technology?
Yes, there's an interesting battle going on right now between landlord and tenant, right? So there are real estate companies out there that are measuring walk-by traffic in front of the store they're trying to sell you. So they have the data. You may not. We can help you and arm you with that data set so you can figure out what is the best location. Location and selection of your real estate is a huge, huge, huge challenge. It's a huge investment and a huge risk. So we've actually helped some of our customers decide not to move locations or to move locations based on that walk-by data set because we're actually valuing the real estate, finally, okay? So that's a great application, great question, thank you.
And I think as I used to remodel our retail spaces,
Yep.
understanding A/B testing, when I put product A, shoes, next to a handbag,
Yep.
that corresponds with a garment.
Yep.
what is that conversion versus having them in my other store separately?
Absolutely. So that's a key one. This whole conversion, the concept of how they move through the space. I'm showing a very complicated graph. It's very simple at the core. This is what's called a Sankey graph, and we call it connected customer journey. This is the first location, for example, that the customer came in. Say accessories. We can tell you what the through traffic is at 36%, how many of those people dropped off from that location, what the total is, and effectively, did they move from shoes to accessories or vice versa? And with this data set, you can now A/B test. We are a measurement tool, okay, to understand what's happening, and you can now apply the construct and idea of A/B testing, much like you did on your website, into your physical store environment. So that's key, and you can test anything from conversion. You can test your marketing messaging, your signage at the front of your store. You can test your labor models. You can test your merchandising strategies. And I think you guys get the idea. There's data that you can apply, and really what we're looking for is what problem are you trying to solve, whether it's labor optimization, merchandising strategy, marketing mix, whether it's physical layout and conversion and understanding which products are driving other product sales. And one of my favorites is which products is interesting to your customers that you're not seeing show up on the point of sale. I think the things that you can't see that we help illuminate are probably one of the largest sort of ROI pieces and components to our solution, is that we're showing you things you haven't seen. And as well, today you might think that the shoes in your store are not moving that well, but you don't know why. And before you pull them out, let's check it. We might tell you that 70% of your customers spend an average of 2 minutes checking out your shoes, but 5% of them are buying. Why? I don't know. I can give you a few ideas, but this is when we partner with you to help understand what's happening. And we want to create questions to help you figure out what's happening in your store, and most importantly, how to optimize it. And that which gets measured gets done. Therefore, having a measurement tool and an A/B testing solution for all of these components in that customer journey are what's going to get you to the place where you're optimizing all of these different components within your retail store. Great question.